Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of My Perspective Podcast with your boy, Big Hawk. Thank you so much for another week tuning in with me for another great conversation. Hey, I appreciate you. You don't know how much I appreciate you, but I really appreciate you. Before we get started, you know, everything I say, take it with a grain of salt. It's just my perspective, how I see things, my perception. But I hope what I say resonate with you. I hope that it provoke thought. And I also hope that it provoke change, but if not, no harm, no foul, because guess what? Man, just my perspective. It's just your boy perspective. Thank you again for tuning in for another week, for another great conversation. Or not so great conversation this week, but we're going to talk about it. Now listen, I just feel compelled to put my 2 cents on this particular topic because it's very, very prevalent, not just in the black community, but just in relationships, period, right? We're going to talk about it. I'm going to give you my little spiel. I ain't going to be hey, this conversation ain't gonna be too long, hopefully. But and when it comes to relationships, why, ladies and gentlemen too, but ladies, why is the topic of conversation when it comes to being submissive? Why is that such a trigger when it comes to leadership, headship, authority? Why are these trigger words in relationships? Trust me, it's a trigger word in my relationship too. So I ain't just talking to you. I'm talking. I'm with you. I'm right in the thick of things with you. But I'm just curious to know, man, why is submission, submissiveness, authority, leadership, um, shit, obedience? Why are these things so triggering in relationships, particularly to the ladies? Um, we know just by how the world operates, there's universal principles, right? But when it comes to when it comes to the gender role as it relates to being submissive and headship, man, these conversations, or this topic of conversation, don't it rarely goes over well because of how we feel about one another. I'm sorry for laughing, but oh man, I'm tiptoeing on a conversation because I know how this conversation typically goes, but I'm gonna do my best today to just make it a little bit less complicated or or confrontational, if you will. I can go a step further, say combative, if you will. But let's look at the word submissive or submission, right? All it means to submit, all that word means is to agree. Agree with your man, agree with your woman. That's submission. That's being submissive. It's not a bad word. We just hear it negatively, but it's not a bad word at all. You just gotta know your partner. You gotta know your person, right? If you got the person with the wrong mindset, a male chauvinist mindset, then that word you hear it negatively because they're using it in a male chauvinistic way because they don't know the true nature or the true essence of that word, right? But when you submit, all you doing is agreeing with your person. I know the Bible said in Ephesians 5, I want to say 21, it tell you about submission, but it also says in the 5:20, I believe. I don't know the chapter and verse, so we ain't finna have Bible study, but it talks about submitting one to another. Now, why do we gotta submit one to another if it don't mean agree? If we working towards a common cause, if we're working towards the greater good, you have to be in agreement. You have to submit to one another. You have to be in agreement. You're not gonna get very far if you don't agree with each other if you don't have the same mindset towards the same goals in life as a couple in relationships. But when you hear that word, that cuss word, submission, it just goes, everything just goes left, especially these days and time. But you know what though? We've been fighting that word submission or submissiveness as far back as I can remember. I'm talking about men and women, particularly women. Let's just go there. Particularly women have been fighting that word submission or submissiveness from way back, way back, and a lot has to do with the male chauvinistic nature of men. You know, I ain't finna act like it don't exist. We got some male chauvinist dudes, some dudes that just don't show women no respect, don't honor women um, in the proper way. So don't give the woman their flowers that they deserve. And I go on record. I've been saying this. The strongest person on this planet Earth that we call home, is the black woman. I've been saying this for years. The black woman is the strongest person on the planet based on DNA, right? Um, in the Bible, when they talk about wisdom, it refers to wisdom as a her. That's a female. Ladies, your superpower is your wisdom. Your superpower is your submissiveness. When you submit, that's a superpower. If a man know that his wife ain't gonna fight him or his girl ain't gonna fight him, but she gonna trust him and follow him, guess what? He gonna trust you with his life. He gonna trust you with his life because he know he can depend on you. He know you got his back. But when you fight him and buck him against what he's trying to accomplish, okay, we make mistakes, right? But what if the mistake is made with good intention? You gonna hold it against him? He's trying to do the right thing. Sometimes you just don't. Sometimes you mess up. Sometimes you make mistakes, even with good intention. So, wait, two things you gotta understand. Men believe that you love them based on how you respect them, based on how you honor them as your significant other, as your man, as your husband, so on and so forth. Women feel that her man loves her based on how he treats her, nurturing, caring, attentive, financially, things of that nature. So we see love in two different ways. We see love in two different ways. And submission or being submissive to your man, that's a way that men feel like their women love them. But women tend to hear that as, I ain't no slave, I ain't no servant, I'm just as equal as you. You are equal to your man, but you have different roles to play. Gender roles exist whether we like it or not. And submissiveness is a quality that a man loves in a woman. Why do you think these buzzwords are out now? Femininity, feminine energy, feminine essence, just feminine period. Like, I get it. Women has been forced, whether no fault of their own or whether by their own mistakes they've been made to be the male and the female when it comes to raising kids. They have always innately grew up faster than men. They mature faster than men. You know, they the concept of understanding life, they grabbed it faster than men. Y'all smarter than us, all intents and purposes. Y'all mature faster than us. Y'all tend to jump off the porch faster than us. It is what it is. There's no denying that. I was one of those guys when I was young. Oh, I'm mature for my age. I was a damn fool at my age, 15, 16, 17, 18. But I wanted y'all to believe I was mature for my age. And I wasn't. I just was a big joker for my age. I was just a big dude for my age. That's the only maturity you seen, my growth. That's it. But women are typically smarter, typically wiser, tend to make I ain't gonna say better decisions, but better decisions, but from a different angle than how a man sees things. That's the beauty of having a good partner. But at the end of the day, a man who has a wife or a girlfriend or a significant other who submits to him, not like a servant, who agrees with him with his mindset, with his vision for the family, how he tries to better the household. When you submit to his vision, guess what? He's gonna tend to lean towards your mind anyway. Maybe what you think about this? Maybe I got this going on. What you think? How you think I should handle it? When a man start asking you questions like that, he trusts you. He trusts you with his everything. But when he don't consider you in his decision making process, 9 times out of 10, he don't trust you. He's guarded. He got his guard up. There's some area of his life that he don't want to relinquish to you because he don't trust you with his heart. He don't trust you with his life because of contention, because of lack of respect, because you don't honor him as the head of the family, things of that nature. Let me be clear. Men and women are equally important in a relationship. Equally important. Women probably more so important than the man. It's probably more so important than the man. But there's gender roles. If you're a Christian, if you're a Bible believing person, God said God is the head of man, man is the head of woman, woman is the head of child. If you believe in the Bible, but just the world we live in, the man built this world. It's a man's world. I ain't make the rules. I'm just living in this world and playing the game that was played that you got to play. But that does not negate the fact that the women are wise. The women have their own superpower. Take chess for example. What's the most important piece on the chessboard? The queen. The queen. Who is fighting? Who is on the chessboard protecting the queen? Everything else. Y'all very, very valuable. Y'all very, very valuable. Very, very important. If not the most important piece. In my opinion, the woman is the most important piece. However, she ain't important if she don't play a role. She's not important if she don't take care of her responsibility in the relationship, in the marriage, in the union. You can't believe you're so smart, you're so wise, you're so this that you can be ahead of the man. We are muscle, we strong, and we logical. Y'all are wise. Y'all um make things. Y'all make a house a home. Y'all are the force multiplier. You're the force multiplier. I go out and work all week, bring you my check, you multiply what I give you. Make my house a home. Make uh, a wife and kids a family. There's things y'all do that make things better. However, it only becomes that when we play our roles. When the man plays his role and when the woman plays her role. It's real simple. But in today's times, you got blended families. That's tough. That's tough. It's hard to play your roles when you got a blended family because I don't know too many women who relinquish their control and their authority to their man over the children that don't belong to them. That's a tough dynamic. That's a very, very tough dynamic. But if you know that man got your best interest at heart, you got to give it a try. If you know that man love your kids like he love his own kids, you got to be willing to give it a try. If not, you're stunting your growth. And the success you could have, you're not gonna have the success that you desire, or the success that you could have. Excuse me. So you can't let these words trigger us, even though they've been used probably in the wrong way in times past. We cannot let these words trigger us if we want to have a happy, healthy, successful relationship. This is my perspective and my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. Let me know in the comments what you think. But in my opinion, we can't let these words trigger us. We have to learn how to trust each other. Ladies, you have to learn to trust that your man has your best interest at heart. Fellas, we have to learn to trust that your lady has your best interest at heart. This is called submission. We gotta trust each other to know that we're gonna do right by one another. And if we see otherwise after we put our trust into it, then you make a decision. But when you going in saying things like this trigger words for men, ladies. Um, I let him lead if he know how. How you gonna ever know how if you don't trust the process? I will allow him to lead. Yeah, you mean allow a man to lead? You don't allow nothing. You go with the flow. Go with the flow. And then if he mess up, then you have a conversation with him. And when you have that conversation, you still got to be wise. Now you got an ignorant man who ain't trying to hear nothing. He's stupid and ain't trying to hear nothing you got to say. Then you crash out. Then you check him and just leave whatever you're gonna do. But 9 times out of 10, we just doing the best we can. And a simple a simple conversation will change the whole dynamic of what y'all dealing with. If you all are both are listening to comprehend to get the best result for your relationship. But yeah, these trigger words, I'm gonna allow a man to lead. I'm gonna allow a man to do nothing. And a real man, blue collar man, ain't going for it. And submission, like that shouldn't be a trigger word. I understand why it's a trigger word, but if you see the red flag before you get into a relationship, that's a sign. Don't get into a relationship because he ain't the guy for you. Because he male chauvinist, and you don't want no male chauvinist. They crazy. They be tripping. They be tripping. So I get it, but a guy who mean right, who love you and everything that come with you, and still want to do right by you, you gotta trust the process. Same for you, fellas. If the lady mean right, and she's showing you she the one, she there for you, she got your back, you gotta trust the process too. And don't let these buzzwords and these trigger words get us off track and get us to miss what's important. That he got your back, that she got your back. Give it a try. I know couples who've been married for umpteen years, 50, 11 years, they still struggle with the same thing. They still struggle with the same thing. It's so unfortunate because you you still with the person, fussing and fighting, yelling and screaming, but you've been together 10, 20, 30, 40 years. In love but miserable. In love but frustrated. In love but going through anxiety because you won't trust the process. That make you a fool. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Learn to trust the process. Learn to trust the process. I guarantee you the outcome will be better than you think. And when you see red flags, check the red flag. Don't look at a red flag like six flags because if a guy male chauvinist, it's gonna come out. If a guy is not listening to his woman, he don't value his woman, like you see this and you still go forth with him, that's shame on you. We've all did it. We've all overlooked red flags when you're in love, but man, love make a fool out of you. Yeah, be submissive one to another, but in your particular role as a man, in your particular role as a woman. You know, just because I'm the man, don't mean I got all the answers. Just because I'm the man, don't mean you just shut up and do what I say. No, you have conversation. But because I'm the man, because I'm the deemed leader, according to the will of God, I got the final say so. But if you use your superpower, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna try your way first. But if all you use your superpower, submission, wisdom, try to see. I guarantee you'll be pleasantly surprised. I'm gonna land the plane right there. This your boy Big Hawk. Thank you for tuning in with me another week. Until next week, love y'all. Peace.